Okay, sure. RadioDR.co.za.
Join myself, Hala,
And me, T,
on the No Filter Show,
where we voice and discuss what everybody is thinking,
but is too afraid to say. Topics that people want to engage in.
but are too afraid to bring up on public platforms. We go where it is unpopular to go,
We dive into real life.
with real experience or opinions.
No topic is off limits.
Exclusive to radiodr.co.za.
And we're off. It's time to take off your filters. It is no filter time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your boy Hala.
And joining is your girl T. What's up, Hala, Hala, Hala?
Yeah, T, come banja.
Get right, winner.
I'm alright, man. This football she's like I got some things to get off my chest.
As always, uhlezi unama opinions. But yeah, without wasting any time, I think we should just dive right in.
Well, you know what? First things first. Without anybody sounding attacked or anything, but why is ngakwazi to communicate saband? Like, I really want us to focus on this today, like communication, like ngeke ngize ngisho the age demographics we're moving into, but at these ages, like communication is very vital. You know what I mean? Hey, how old you are. But but it's one of those things that we need to face as a reality. I would say we are growing older, and in terms of any relationship you have, either family members, friends, or even like a romantic relationship, or even colleagues, communication is key.
True.
You know what I mean? And I feel as Abantu, we really failed to communicate effectively.
We really do. I can attest to that, for one. Throughout my life, I've always battled with communication. In Lini, I can't communicate with family. At times, I find it hard to communicate with friends. And let's not get started on relationships.
Yee,
But,
Nikalwa,
yeah.
yee. Like that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of today, I would say. What is this barrier that stands between us and the people that we care about and being able to communicate effectively? Because correct me if I'm wrong, like these are people that you are comfortable with. These are people you're close to. These are your loved ones. Yee nenza kube bukhunu to just communicate and speak your mind.
I don't know. At times, you just don't want to strip yourself down to the core. It could be for many reasons, like you fear being judged by the other person, because it doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi umuntu cares about you, then they will understand everything more specifically from your point of view. Like,
Yeah.
I've just always battled with that, because when it comes to my thinking and the way I view things, at times it's very different from the norm. And mengabe leyo nto uzama ukuyichazela omunye umuntu, one, I feel ngale ndlela wena uzama ukuyichaza ngayo. And secondly, it's like it's different from the norm. Like, what are you? Are you alien? What are you? Which planet are you from? Because this is how we do things as people.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to exert that energy into a relationship, or even with family. Because I think families get cool, right? They have a specific way of doing things.
Yeah.
Families that are controlling, that feel like their word is God, like maybe badala, and they give out an instruction, and that is God. And then you come and you're trying to communicate other things. You're trying to communicate a different vibe, a different energy. Then altogether, it's a mix mash. So minanje at times rather than communicate.
But why does Lama barriers that you are talking about sound like self-made barriers? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to communicate because somebody's going to think I'm weird. So how does it then ensure or safeguard you from all the things that are missed when you don't communicate, because everything you just said has nothing to do with the other person, it has everything to do with you. So, like, are we creating these things ourselves? Like, Zitin, because you said you don't want to be judged. Kusho ba judge to begin with.
Yo, and last week we spoke about obsessive love disorder and, you know, those things related to our relationships and matters of the heart. Guys, when it comes to communication.
Honestly, for now.
I'm gonna say but I'm working on it. That much I can say, because I think I'm coming to a point where nami ngiyakula and I'm maturing, and I feel I'm starting to make better decisions, and I'm trying really, really hard to get my point across.
So it's not true that girls mature faster than boys.
I don't know.
I think that's a myth, eh? Like,
I don't know.
I feel that's a myth.
No, like when it comes to men are childish at heart. Like, men don't grow up. They toys just get
I beg to differ.
Men don't grow up.
I beg to differ. Like, guys, there are girls out there and ladies out there, young women out there and women out there that are still stuck on stupid. Like, it is the unfiltered show after all. So I'm just going to be as blunt as I can, you know. They're still, no, honestly though, they're still stuck on stupid.
No, communication, it doesn't mean now ultimately I was doing everything wrong. I think now where you can attest to the fact that throughout your years growing up, there are things you are learning and unlearning. You're growing certain things, and you know, you're becoming a better person. So I think it's just part of the growing up phase, guys. Like,
yeah, I think it's part of growing pains. You know, you grow into certain things, you grow out of certain things, but yeah, that's not the reality for all of us. You know what I mean? Like, I think at this point in life, this is the platform we have to discuss certain things. And kulegan, guys, we've got you. We are going to figure out why we have these issues, you know, like communication, as you said. So you've said, Woods, you feel as though it's a thing for you where you do not want to be judged for the way you think, and you cannot communicate things effectively.
Yeah.
So do you think this is an issue across the board? Like, a couple of people have the same issue? Like, what do you think?
I think it's baningi kule word. Yeah, it's baningi nje siyagula. But in the same breath, I just want to say, in terms of family, it also depends ukuthi ukhule kumndeni onjani and if family structure sinjani.
Yeah.
And for me, growing up, I wasn't close to my siblings, for starters. And now that we're trying to rebuild our relationships, it's really difficult, especially when we communicate, because omunye uzicabangele into yakhe nomunye uzenzele into yakhe, and you know, it's very hard to reach common ground. So I think those are just some of the challenges. But
how do we overcome these? Like, we get that there are challenges. Everybody has these challenges. We're here to figure out, how do we overcome these challenges?
Yes, it's dangerous, because it gets to a point where it's like, hey, yes, in gobas understandani, to each his own. As go khumbule ekhaya.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, I'm fine.
I'm good where I am.
Like, I will never forget that episode. Like, la mama, I stand. But I really think she just fails to communicate. And wafika to a point where she was like, Yazin, let me just do my own thing, live my own life. Abenzinto yabo, and I'm not bothered about them. Nabo abangaslupi ngam. But utoluguti yazi into yabo could be fixed in 5 minutes if nje benga communicator omunye nomunye successful bensakhe.
So how do you think these things like are detrimental in relationships? Like, we've got to discuss these things.
Let's not even get started on that, because I was kind of hoping You'll not go down that path.
This is unfiltered. I leave no stone unturned.
If
I were Nina, that's another thing we must discuss at some point. How you catfish us with filter. First and foremost, okay, ladies, I have nothing against makeup. Let me just make that clear. That's a disclaimer. But I know shy false advertising. Like, makeup has started to become the devil's work. Like, okay, if I make up, on top of that, kill us with those Snapchat filters or even any filters, and then your angles. Like, shit, like, you ladies know how to work your angles. Like, you know how to work your angles.
Give mumbi sithombe say ID bese ngiba mumbi social media guys no
Musad was shaggy false advertising though.
These are at our disposal. Lalela mubona ibhega when you advertise we manje nalento sukuyithenga estolo, is it the same? No, it's just to get you hungry.
You know what happens?
What happens?
Mayifikile ngicine sengidlela ukusutha. Not for the enjoyment.
Oh, shut up.
No, but that's the truth.
You're an ass like that.
No, but that's what happens with false advertising. Uguti, you made the perfect example. Ipeka, we advert, like it looks juicy F, and it just looks all sorts of good. It's not like it was advertised. What are you going to do? You've already ordered. You are hungry. You are here because you are hungry.
Like, and they have it all advertised and shit, and it's looking like juicy. They've put it on like some cute ass chopping board. Yeah,
but the thing is, my point is, usudlela uksuta. Angithi order ngobulambile and usudlela uksuta, and that's that.
No, I like, let's bring it back home. Nami, I have a serious issue with false advertising, because you look at something from afar, from a billboard, and it's just so appealing to you, and you really think, oh, as in, this is really what I need. And then up close and personal, it's actually not.
Linda says that we tinda a bit last week, where we said that the guys often hide who they really are in the beginning of the relationship. They promise you umhlaba, whatever, and girls hide their crazy. So we had that discussion. So I think that leads to what we're discussing today.
Yeah.
Which is the inability to communicate effectively. Because now, things will communicate now. I just false advertising, makeup, and then you're in front of me and being ikfuna for all the wrong reasons, because you pleased the eye. You spoke to what I wanted aesthetically. So pamwam manj. Osayona lento lete ngilindele.
And speaking of that, Kona, this post that's been trending on Facebook.
Yeah.
Inbox from a certain guy, and we are born even from the way he texts and the way he delivers himself. Like,
okay, okay, please educate me, ini babas. No, I'm back. No, educate me, ini babas.
Can I first say what I'm saying, and then after? I think you will understand.
I would think now bengizu.
So inbox say udade wethu thizeni la. Uthi ke yabo nje, for the mere fact ukuthi addressa ngokuthi mamakhe ibabazi lelo, but let's continue.
Ini mamakhe, what are these? Okay, yeah.
Oh, mamakhe no babakhe. But we'll get on to that. Let me just finish reading this.
Yeah.
Ngiyayikhumbula manje, and I'm like, nah, ngikhohle ukukhombisa lento. So uguy uthi mamakhe ngiyacela phela siboke sizikhiphe nje mangiholile singene hontshozi sizitike, masiqeda lapho sihambe emtateni siyobhukha isikebe esizosigibela siyojika nathi phakathi olwandle,
washa
sishuthe ama-selfie, sibuye lapho sithenge amayababa,
washa
amadonati nekhuwi, sizitike
woza insizwa yakithi,
bese sihambe siyophumula lapho sigqoke izinto ezimeshayo.
Okay, so are these like what relationship goals? Like, no, I'm trying to understand. It's okay.
Lalel, ngiyamdinga lo bhuti empilweni yami.
Okay, mamas.
I can't live without him.
So, okay, make me understand.
Yeah.
Not just me. Kona, somebody that's listening right now that has no idea what ibabazi is and what imamazi is. So make us understand. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm not sure 100% of le definition le. Nami into engi coshile abantu mebekhuluma. But amababas, mamas, they speak to Leo demographic. One based on indlela abakhuluma ngayo, indlela abazi-addressa ngayo, abagqoka ngayo, izinto abazithandayo.
Oh, honchos. No, I'm asking for real. Like, I'm so confused. Like, what are we talking about?
Like your typical mamazi and babazi dates. Ungabathola vele honchozi, ungabathola bedle lushwama, beyimuncele dragoni.
Guys.
Bese workshop beyimuncele ice cream.
Yeah.
That's what I've gathered. Uguti. That's your typical.
Are these
babazi.
baby mamas and baby daddies? Is that why umamas no babas? Like, what?
At times, but omunye guy uyaya kusukele ungenangani akubize nje ngeemamazi lakhe yabo ngeemama, you know, or mama to be type of thing.
The fuck?
Like
okay.
your typical babazi mhlambe you're meeting up for a date usuyamfonela mhlambe uthi anihlangane edrobheni yawo beningajena nangi location.
Yeah.
Or it's some mall or whatever. And then suyamfonela uyamtshela ukuthi I know ngila eMarkenbin. That's okay, phuma lapho uze ePi City.
Oh, nquma.
Yazi we laugh about these.
Oh, nquma.
No, yazi lezi zinto zenzeka abantu they actually telling these things from experience ukuthi ke thina sesizenza amahlaya, which is I think humor is good. Like it's satire. It's what in English they call satire, where we basically mock.
But it's a thing.
And ridicule ourselves as society.
You know what? Let me just go on a limb. Bo mamas.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be spicy. Bo mamas. If Gonumuntu identifies as a mamas and you're listening, what is the most romantic thing Ibabazi has done for you? And what has been your ideal date with umuntu who identifies as Ibabazi? If anything that Uti has said sounds familiar to you, like pop us a comment in the comment section, like let us know, or like just go to our social media pages and let us know. And like what's going on, you know what I mean?
Of course. This is reminding me of any encounter ye mamas ne babas. It was posted angazume a man's house or Jen's house, but it's something like that. Okay. One other thing.
Oh, le group on the metric.
What? Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. I know ngiyengizwa besho nje ngiyengizwa maphiza ndekhuluma ngala.
Bazokutshela ukuthi ngisho ngaba nawo lo matric kodwa ngingakushaya.
Hey, bafo, I'm wearing pink pants right now. You probably could, eh? Probably could. Yeah.
Hey, babazi, yazi, that was actually like a heartfelt story. Yazi ngangizwa ipain yakhe ubhuti because he took out Lily Mamazi. I think they also met like via social media. Lento yenu inboxana nanani.
Lento yenu. Okay, continue.
Babas.
Bro, like, don't even come at me like that, eh?
So, ubhuti uyachaza la ukuthi i-budget yakhe yayila ku 300. Yabo, wayesephelele nje lapho. So that includes transport, food, entertainment. 300.
Sure.
Afike ke edrobheni vele bazohlangana workshop ayalibona imamazi ayili right ilento nje expectile vele from Facebook. Bangene ke lapha yabo lapha that Nando circle la nje kudlula khona abantu.
Sengizovuma nje, yes.
Amfake lapho workshop What did I get workshop?
Hey, sang this cut.
Like how long ago?
Hey, the story's not about me. Continue.
No, because I was with Konunandos in Pagati.
Yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, cool. Continue.
Yeah. So bangene lapho badle, and I think Emiliabo combined came close to about 200 bucks. Yeah, because he has now about my quarter chicken chips and roll, my idlanats. They don't cost as much, and I think then Klampi Milia is like 50 something rands. Yeah. So baphume lapho imamazi limceli airtime MTN 30 rand liya ikhalela ibabazi la uthi bekakubhajethanga lokho, but anyways amthengele.
Yeah.
Eliphinde likhali imamazi uthi ngifunela ice cream la. So they went all around ngale bathenga ice cream siyajumpa ke manje kwi-budget.
Leke ngisibona ihlele workshop idlo ice cream.
So they walked down because I think khona i-rank yasemlazi behind ugame. Yeah. So maybe fika lapho ke avelathi imamazi phela lifuna ama snacks because I think kwakusekiwe endlini phela ubabazwa isebhejile la nandosi ethi
Washabafo.
yabo. So livele lithi mamazi yena it's fine nginikeza imali ngizongena Shoprite mina ngithenge yabo. Kanti mamazi shuthi kuzongena lingabe lisabuya hayibo brothers kuyaphela like 15 minutes 30 minutes hayibo lutho sis azangene ngaphakathi estolo ayibo uthi yimi lo nqubuzana nabantu ngeyifuba ngibheka usisi ngize ngibuze ku security awumbona usisi kanjani nje ku security. No, there's like thousands of people that walk in and out the store.
Rich.
So yeah, basically that's how he got played by Lily Mamas. So I think the part that got me was yazi bafethu uthathe even le mali yokugcina yokugibela ngoba uthe hayi baby so thenga le yakho mina khona imali la kumina sogibela ngayo kuyimanje ngithayipha lento ngiyawalka ngiyemla.
But
So,
really be some
I think
stupid
that's
ass.
another thing though, because I think a lot of people have been played like this via social media. They send abantu imali, gifts, whatever.
But that's stupid though. Like, why would you send money to somebody that you've never met? Like, that's another thing we need to get into at some point. Like, fellas, like, honestly, how are you buying somebody's affection? Mind you, a badge, you know what happens about badge? You're gonna walk to Emlaz. Also, dale umuntu that you've met on social media. Like, no, guys. Like, angizwa leyo nto. And then it goes back to all the issues we keep discussing. Abasazwa dissect our relationships. Because it's a vital part of growing up. I'm sure we've been in various relationships that have, failed, and uzame and you fail, and uzame and you fail. So we're not the only ones, Ngiyacabanga sisonke, even to everybody that's listening, these are things that we go through. And it's important to do introspection, maumuntu, as to where did I lack and why did a relationship not work? Did I communicate effectively in that relationship? Did I not? And in terms of the growing pains, I may not have been the best version of myself in that relationship, but it's highly possible that the other person was being the best version of themselves in that relationship, but that just did not speak to me. And these are things we need to be honest with ourselves about, because umuntu can be a great human being, but it doesn't mean they're a great human being for you.
Of course. Preach on. Preach on.
And
go deeper.
if you're in a position where your communication is not as effective as it should be, then you're going to ignore certain things. Like, for instance, there's a particular way you like being treated as a person. I personally believe you set the tone for how somebody is going to treat you. I teach you how you should treat me,
how to treat me,
by how I conduct myself and what I like, what I don't like. But if you can't communicate effectively, you let things go. You know, the moment you feel as though you should communicate something that speaks to you as a person and how you like to be engaged, then you don't. And in essence, that becomes detrimental to the relationship as a whole, because now you're putting yourself in a position where the other person doesn't understand that, okay, look, I'm crossing particular boundaries here that are uncomfortable for the other person, and you can't meet halfway without there being effective communication. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Of course. And I love the fact that you touched on the issue. You would see communication is both ways, good and bad. You must communicate the things that you like and the things that you don't like. I've often witnessed people communicate the things they don't like. It's like they're waiting for you to do something wrong.
Yeah.
They just, waiting on that.
Yeah.
But you can literally communicate the things that you like, because we put so much strain and pressure on other people. Ukuthi fanele babe izangoma manje. Fanele babhule ukuthi wena, this is what you like. On a Sunday morning, you like going out on a coffee date. You like doing that. Hello, if ungayi communicate lento, umuntu ngeke azayazi, because they might take you out to that place and it doesn't speak to you. So now, altogether, that's a fail.
So we mix mashing manje. Yeah,
like if we talk, I know the things that you like. So if I decide to take you to a place that I definitely know that you like, because we often communicate about these things, then that's great. But when we haven't communicated, and now you haven't told me the things that you like, and vice versa,
honchos bese ngise workshop sodlo ice cream suke lapho ungibize ngebabazi indlela yonke
uyiphathe kahle at this point in time.
Don't get me wrong, guys, like there's nothing wrong with ihonchos. Like if that's your thing and that's what you enjoy and that's what when umuntu wakho enjoy, then by all means go for it, like don't let society and social media determine standards of relationships and what is a higher standard and what isn't. Just live your truth. If you like something, then that's what you like. Because then do show, yeah, fine. Like if mina githi ihonchoza ngiyithanda.
Yeah.
Bese ngiyitholela utheni amamazi. Bese ngiyitholela imamazi that really likes going to ihonchos and she likes ukudla kwakhona. And I keep taking her to like a Beverly Hills, or I take her to Olive and Oil. I feel out of place. Like I enjoy kuba lapho. Now she has to pretend to be something she's not, just to suit your standards. You know what I mean? And already lapho seni mismatched, because uhleli uyambora should much rather be ehonchozi picking away on a freaking one up. No, no, but no, okay, chicken. Okay, she'd much rather be a hojozi picking away on chicken and kotimino gumnandi ni happy, and now these are things that could save you as the guy, like from all the trouble of pulling off like a 5-star dinner date. Kantumuntu would be much happier with the small things, the small gestures, like let's go eat ehonchozi, have a conversation, have a good time. That's that. So I think that's but these are realities.
Yeah, mismatch, because now I'm thinking it the other way. You would see, girl, girl is used to the finer things in life. I feel like it's only babas. And whoa. Yay, it makes matches hey.
But don't you know inhlobo yakho as ubuntu?
Ingakho ngisho because usisi like first dates yabo nje lo bhuti lo ngcono inhlobo kanje evesane inbox iziveza upende wide, because now first date you're expecting ukuthi umuntu at least noma ngasabanga indawo ebizayo, but something modest.
You know what to expect.
Yabo athi siyodluphaya namhlanje.
This is what we spoke about last week. Ziveze from the onset what you are about.
It's no harm when uyazazi the things that you like, the places you identify with, izinto that speak to you as a person.
Yeah.
And akuve kumnandi to get somebody that's in line with that. Akuve niba happy. That is why you see ama couples ezimamvuzela magwinya nomupaya, and you wonder. And then you see other couples, beishayela, they're nice, quiet dinner at an expensive restaurant. Now it speaks to them and their lifestyle, you know.
They're not even talking to each other. They're each on their phones, like each to their own, each to his own. And you know, now that's another thing to consider. And I have a huge issue
with what?
Hey guys, like women. I'm not saying it's only a women thing, or let's just say people in general that take relationship advice from social media and take relationship norms from social media and other people's relationships. Like, at which point do we understand do we each have our own individual journey in life, and we are individuals that are true to themselves, and when you meet another human being who's on their own journey and you meet and become a unit, then our dynamics are unique to the both of you, not anybody else. So if social media says, the Instagram era, you know, you're in a successful relationship when you pull matching outfits and go on dinner dates and you go on vacations and you do this, that, and the other. And as soon as your partner does not do that, then you feel as though you're in a failing relationship. Like, that's an issue right there, you know?
Pressure. Because now we have posters and is nice.
Yeah, but why is now relationship like all about posting? Why has it been diminished from a point where it's about two individuals that come together and build a life together? Now it's about ukuthi abantu bazothini, ngifuna abantu besibone, ngifuna sibagcwalisele. That's where we are getting things wrong, I feel, in our generation when it comes to relationships, because we're taking relationship advice from memes, guys.
Okay, me too.
Memes. Like, it's already stressful enough, I mean, as a guy, to be with a woman that has no backbone, that takes relationship cues from my friends or abantu that are close to her, that cannot, and she cannot make up her own mind. So just because so and so's boyfriend does this, and if you don't, then it means you don't love me enough. Or if you don't, then it means ukuthi you are not showing me enough affection. Like, and then you make it worse. On top of that, ubesuthola umuntu who takes it from social media.
I think we touched on that a bit last week when we spoke about and ultimately you play yourself, because how a girl in that relationship, she's being treated like Her Majesty and now you are only looking at the things a guy is doing for her. In turn, what is she doing for the guy? What the guy is doing is minimal to what she does. If a guy could, I'm thinking she private jets, but he can't at the moment. Manje when ufuna guy wako to go above and beyond, while all you bringing in a relationship, my palms, my leggings and whatnot.
We also call a waist trainer. Let my likes they waist train.
My likes and another man's baby.
Oh, dude! What?
Whoa!
Whoa!
They need to cut this out.
Yeah, we are recording this without our producers present, because wow. But okay, they understand it's the Unfiltered show. We're about to be unfiltered, and that's what we need to do. So we're a bit calmer now because our producer just walked in.
Like, nigga just barged in to save the day.
Yeah, T was going in way too hard. Hi, I mean, I'm monotone today. I'm chilled. Okay. Yeah, anyway, guys, so we're about to go into one of our really cool segments, which is basically social media unfiltered, where T and I take like a deep dive into our social media and we find like controversial or funny posts and, you know, we just share opinions on it. So first things first, I've got a question here, or it's probably like a post on social media that says, ladies, would you be okay if your boyfriend shared an apartment with a woman? So, T,
Yeah.
what do you think?
It depends what kind of sharing. Like most complexes, it's like maybe a 2-bedroom house and you'll share the kitchen and bathroom. But kungamele ngiqale ngimbone lo sis.
How?
Yeah.
Ngenaphi? Uyi-tenant, uhlanganaphi wena?
Ngingena kuwena nje mina.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, umuntu wakho uhlala in an apartment where there's a tenant. The tenant has nothing to do with you and umuntu wakho.
She has potential to break me.
Yeah, but the thing is, yena ungenaphi? She's not a part of your relationship. She doesn't know who you are. She doesn't care. So how are you interviewing umuntu who's just sharing an apartment with umuntu wakho?
I get it, but that's a tricky part. But I would say if I met you and the situation is already like that, then I'd obviously have to adjust. But if now uqala phansi uyofuna enye indawo and okay, you find a flat to share with a female, hey man, there's still other options to explore. Like
no, umuntu wakho udinga indawo manje, uthola indawo manje. The tenant is
Why
already a female.
So
kunani umuntu wesifazane, they're human beings, sabankulunkulu sonke.
Ay kahle nisho njalo vele. But I don't know, for some weird reason I think a lot of guys that I know actually prefer my flatmates esifazane than other men. So angazi lokho noma bakushiso ukhohlakala, or is it just because females like better handle izinto and you won't just find a house upside down?
See, this goes back to insecurities, what we spoke about in the last episode. Having to interview a tenant engahlangene nawe is part of being quite insecure.
Angithi wena usubonile ukuthi okay, maybe advertise about 1 bedroom available in a 2-bedroom flat or apartment, and it's with a female. Phuma lapho.
Ephumeleni udinga indawo i-affordable kuyena, udinga indawo ASAP, yona ndawo ekhona iseduze nala sebenza khona, ahambe ubafo ayongena khona. Ikephi inkinga?
But yeah, all in all, I think it's just a matter of communication at the end of the day and adjusting, because if push comes to shove, umuntu uyayidinga indawo desperately, so a plan can be made. But that bitch better know not to get her clothes on my man. You understand?
Anyway, what's your I would not allow umuntu wami ukuthi ayohlala nensizwa eflatini.
Oh,
fuck that.
Anyway,
next post.
Okay, this is something for you and for the men out there. So, Batilana, here's a list of things that will not, I repeat, will not make a man act right.
Okay.
Grade 6, being a good woman, being a good cook, buying him things, supporting his dreams. And here's a list of things that will make a man act right. That is when he decides he wants to act right.
Preach. Amen. No, I agree with that post 100%. Whoever wrote that shit on, what is that, Facebook?
Yeah,
that
Facebook.
person is a genius. That is true. Ladies need to understand. We men are only going to act right for somebody we want to act right for. Ungashaya is Changli in bed. Ungapheka every night. Matter of fact, ungathola amatshe abonang uwabeke ngaphansi omncamelo wami and try go to do voodoo things and whatnot. Fuck that, bro. Like, umuntu is going to act right for who they want to act right for. So I agree with that post 100%.
Oh, and that voodoo thing, like, it's for you to even go to extremes to try and keep somebody, like, borderline OLD, borderline psychotic. But yeah, that's a topic for another day.
Sazobuya sobashai. Yabo, the episode where we played Truth or Drink, like, I'm gonna tell you my stories. I'm gonna be exposing my shit.
What?
As soon as you guys get me drunk.
Are you for real? Because I'm gonna hold you to that. Yabo. I want you to get plastered to the point where uzikipa zonke.
I mean, I have no filter. So here, I've got a post on my Facebook that says, someone somewhere is discussing the old you because they do not have access to the new you.
Hey man, let the choir sing. Preach on.
So what do you think about that?
151% true. 51 angwazi nguthathe, but yeah.
A mathematician, okay, yeah.
Why are you exposing me like that? I'm not at work.
Okay, please. Continue.
That is so true. Like, I think abantu, they forever want to be in your business. And the moment they don't know what's going on, then, yeah, they start talking bullshit. Or now, if they really, really don't have access to the new you, and, like, all they see is from what you post, maybe they follow you on social media. Yeah. But even Nanga Loco, they can't really gauge what you are really going through. They can just only make assumptions and conclusions. But yeah, I always say, whatever I'm doing, it's going cool, it's going great. The most thing I screenshot the good vibes of my life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I think? Here's my take on this. Growth is a concept that we should embrace. And people shouldn't use ipastiako to advocate for whatever person you are at that time. You know what I mean? Like, just because I did something before, and just because I was a particular way before, and I'm speaking against it now, I feel like growth is a concept that we should all embrace. And just because I did things in a particular way in the past, and just because I spoke in a particular way in the past, and perhaps I am now advocating against those very same actions, it doesn't make me a hypocrite. It makes me a mundu who's experienced growth and is still experiencing growth in life. And that's a concept we should all embrace. Like, stop holding on to the old me or the old person that you know out there. Give them the space to grow. And just because they are no longer the person that you know, no, it's called growth. Like, just take a dose of it yourself and keep it moving.
Boop, 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 boop.
So what do you have for me?
I don't really have something for you. I just read into this thing posted by this guy who's Faisal. What's he? I don't drink boxed wine. Usho inja engenayo ne text number. Oof. Like, okay. I had to pause there for a bit on the TL. I'm like, hey, bo,
okay.
Nayi enyinto ukuthi abantu they reach sometimes.
What's your standards?
You know?
What's your standards?
But yeah, let me move on to what I have for you. That was just
okay. All right.
So I ran across this mini article, and it says, Black women can no longer afford to save broken Black men.
Mm-hmm.
And just a small segment says, the truth is that Black women have lived in a perpetual state of fear and fantasy with Black men for a very long time. Black women have long carried an unyielding, sometimes unexplainable loyalty to Black men, even when that loyalty has cost us our lives. And although Black women have all but verbally committed to being a refuge for Black men's ruins, for the sake of our survival, we can no longer afford to do so.
That's deep.
We can no longer afford to save broken Black men. Like, I want to hear this from a guy, the horse's mouth, because right now in front of me, you are sort of like the representative of your species, especially coming from the era of men are trash and the zindo of, gender-based violence against women and children. And women are now saying we can no more afford to save broken men.
Yeah. Okay. Yazi, you just put so much pressure on me. You are here in front of me. You are representing your species. Yo, the weight's on my shoulders. Okay, you know what? Here's what I think. It might be an unpopular opinion, but we as black men, or some of us, have failed our fellow black women. We should be there as protectors. We should be there as providers. We should be there as a support system. And with the way things are, I can fully understand if black women get to a point where they feel Uguti, we are no longer in sync with black men. They are not for us. They do not protect us. Instead, they are the ones that are burying us deep into the soil. They are the ones that are hurting us the most. They are the ones that have basically become the source of why we suffer. And I feel when it comes to that, we should do better as men, especially black men, when it comes to black women, yabo. And we're not doing enough.
Banifundisani kanti women's conference anzwanga
Imfihlo lezo ukwenzakalani women's conference.
Didn't attend women's conference ngezwa nabanye sebe complain uthi usathi usalela ubone ngosomize sedonsa ingubo.
Abamenywanga lapho. What? Okay, yazi ukuthina senze nje. Fellas, let's put this on the agenda for February 14, 2020, Men's Conference Part 2.
Ooh, okay.
Ukuthi siyokhulumani anibenhlela kusayimanje because ladies, none of us are around. We need to go fix ourselves as black men, and we will be away doing this Valentine's Day.
You know what? Jokes aside, I actually wish Uguti this was actually a thing where men can get together and build each other up. I know in the US you'd find men that would represent ingane that have no fathers. They'll be there to be the father figures in their lives and attend parents' meetings and whatnot. We just really need to get to that point where even for women, like we need to groom each other instead of tearing each other down. Instead of being
and you guys are great at that.
You don't get to comment.
This is
on
unfiltered. The tables turn real quick, like I know filter.
Yeah, but it would be actually great if that was a real thing where men got together for all the good reasons.
Brothers, let's make this a real thing. Like, let's have a deeply rooted boot camp.
Okay.
For fellas. You guys just ruin everything. Anyway, next post. You guys just we can cook. We were raised by strong black women, and we can cook and clean for ourselves. But anyway, this is when a person dies and you haven't seen anything from their relatives or family members on Facebook or social media. Learn to keep your rest in peace to yourself. It is not your job to tell the world. And before you eat my head off, let me explain why. There are other family members that are working in extreme conditions and away from home. The elders may decide to call them home before breaking the news. Death is a very sensitive issue, so don't lose your manners on Facebook. Do not seek attention in a negative way.
You know what? Hey, that hits close to home. Years ago when I lost my brother, and I think it was just before this whole social media era, Facebook and whatnot. At that time, Sasa no mix it, and at most BBM.
Okay, Sexy Eyes 93. Yeah, continue.
What? What? That's not my mixed name.
Luscious Lips.
Shut up.
Yeah.
But I actually found out that Ubudwamo Shonile in a taxi home from school. And that was the most heartbreaking shit ever. And when the person told me, wapahluka obviously, and when they realized ukuthi angazi, then they tried obviously to withdraw their statements, but because and now I'm sitting in the whole way home trying to think, my brother Shonil, what the heck is
so
going on?
Do you feel this would have been way worse had this happened during the social media era? Do you think people would have posted on his wall?
Of course.
Like,
imagine I found out on a taxi ngiphuma esikoleni. Imagine mhlambe kuthiwa ngisetaxini sengiyangena ku Facebook and now I'm seeing RIP
on your brother's wall.
Like, yo.
So you're wrong, Lento, basically.
That shit is not nice. That shit is not nice. Already, ngathi ngehla estopini, my knees were already trembling. And I was actually in such an emotional state when I got home. That mini heart attack that you have, it's like
yeah.
It's not a good thing. Like, abantu should really
respect the family, basically.
The family.
Yeah.
Like, umuntu fanele ezwe ngabantu bakubo. I think it's only when they've started posting nabo, then show ama condolences wako, and then you repost and then you share. Because to an extent, kubalulekile nakho ukushare. Let me make another example. 2017 November, I lost one of my best friends. Like, since high school, utabe si skimu, but she went to go study Ongoye, and eventually, when she started working, she didn't make it, and at that time we had lost contact.
Yeah.
But we actually found out on social media, and we made arrangements to go there. So that also helps. But all we are saying is, and just give people in the close circle of family and friends the chance.
So there is some good in this, basically.
No, there is. Ngatin yonke into Hala is based on timing.
Yeah.
Timing.
Oh, I feel you.
Useyoposta ke usefuna ama likes nama shares yabo. No. Like, I see pattern basically.
Yeah, I feel like social media has really changed my dynamics amaningi empilweni zethu, and that's just the reality of it. You know, it's a monster that is so astronomical that we don't even know how to control it. And I think oftentimes more than none we find ourselves doing things for clout.
Yeah.
And
it's not being
we are doing things to be in the mix of things. Like, I don't get this whole thing of going to somebody's wall, my sexual tell me it's not true. What the fuck? How are they going to tell you it's not true? Like, next thing, how is this possible? Guys, come on. Like, really? Like, then what must happen just because you were speaking to them yesterday? Like, I feel as though this is like a whole exercise to show social media no, I mean, I was tight with the deceased. Like,
of course.
And people post screenshots of their last conversations with the deceased. Like, oh, you're just telling me you want to come see me. You know, like, I feel as though that's quite distasteful. That could just be my unpopular opinion. But personally, when it comes to social media and I agree with you 100%. T, like, just hold your horses, lindani umdeni, up until such a time when they address the issue of passing your family member yabo, then you can jump on the bandwagon to fine.
You know, yeah. Okay, I've just got one more, and it's an extract from one of my favorite Facebook groups. I won't say the name, but I think in me reading out this, Abantabaning will actually figure out where it's from. But we are also planning on having these guys on one of our shows.
I'll try to figure out who it's from.
So, uyakhala la ubhuti. Uthi, webo sisi. Sizonlobola kanjani nihlala eMetrogens kuze kugoqane iPenty line.
Oh, my dude. This does not sound like anything I see from any groups that I frequent on my social media. So I'm going to guess ukuthi ile gang ile ye honchos. No.
Gents?
No, ile gang ile ye honchos le umelus engaziwa khona. Labi ID number bengaveli kamelus.
Imen's house?
No. Why? I didn't say that. I don't know what that is.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, what is it from the group of people that don't have a certificate?
No. Yazi uzibizela ukushawa uzothi usayihambela la edrobheni ubona abantu sebekimboza.
Cha bafethu angisabi, let me just make that clear. Like,
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, you know, as much as these things turn into social media jokes, like, able bosi singempela nihlalelani kuze kugoqana ama-panty liner ey'ndaweni zotshwala. Like, as a man, tell me.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Uhleli nosisi ubusuku bonke umfuqana ngotshwala uyampatha khona la.
Must marinate the meat.
Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Kuze kusekuseni nangakusasa.
So I marinate. Yeah.
I-panty liner isiwuthi kanje isigoqene. Like, why? Why nihlalisa ingane zabantu?
Ngoba asiplan ukuyishada. That's why.
Anjani?
Asiplan ukuyishada. That's why. That post is for umuntu okhuluma ukuthi sona ishada kanjani. Thina laba sisuke senze njalo kubona suke singanazo vele inhlelo zokuthi we want to marry them.
Oh, kumele bashade ubani kanti?
Whichever poor sucker is going to come along and do it, but it's definitely not us.
So nina niyafuna ukuthi abafazi babanye abantu nibathathe nibagcisha utshwala.
Abanye abantu yini uNkulunkulu wasidala akekho umuntu la. So
ayibo mase nishadile umuntu wakho phela.
Yeah, but that person usuke ngakashadi. That's what we're saying.
But they're in line to be someone else's.
But that has nothing to do with me because everybody has a past, right? That has nothing to do with me. The time umuntu umgcisha utshwala and you're doing whatever you're doing, they are not somebody's wife. And if somebody comes along and marries them, then that's not your issue. Yeah, no, all right. ngama-panty line omila ngithi utheni ama-panty line and then igoqene. So should they are okay with that, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is we mustn't misconstrue these things, you know what I mean? Like if ukuthi ngihleli nomuntu etshwaleni ngimgcisha utshwala the whole night, Samarinator, you know, which is another discussion we'll have one day, the sad reality of the culture of clubs and partying within South Africa and particularly in Durban. But
that one must be had.
But that's what I'm doing, and that's what we've been brought up to do as men, which is wrong, you know what I mean? And women perpetuate these things by being in those scenarios where they allow these things to happen and they embrace them. I would say, before I chill with you, what are you buy me alcohol, you know, at a place. So it's one of those things. I would say, lo ukhuluma ngomshado from what you read.
Yeah.
Tina, we are not out to marry these girls. We are there to marinate, have fun, kuphele kudlule.
Oh,
wham bam.
wow.
Thank you, Sam.
Oh my freaking down. Oh my freaking down. But yeah, thank you so much for that insight. But you've touched on other issues, and definitely kuzomele siwa discuss and unpack on one of these shows because hey man.
Yeah, and people must send through like controversial posts that they see on social media that they'd like us all to discuss. Because see, community, you know, Basila, we are all discussing these things, and they could, reality. You know, inbox it to you or DM it to you. Like, why don't you pop through your social media handles so that they know where to get a hold of you?
Of course. And, you know, going back to the aspect of communication and effective communication in relationships. I think we've discussed the one, yoguti, communicating the things that you like and you don't like. But our tool that we haven't touched on. And that is the one of finance and sex. Yeah. Now, like, for example, how do you tell your partner wuti their sex is boring or or you're just expecting them, you know, to bring more?
You know how?
Like,
your sex is boring. I'm expecting you to bring more to the table. That's exactly how.
How?
No, but we spoke about communication. Like we're adults. Like we must be able to put through my expectations and our feelings without fear or favor. Just not in like a rude way. You know what I mean? But it's important
because it's a two-way street.
You know what I mean? Like don't be rude about it, but at the same time, don't hide it. Because that comes with a lot of things now. You know what I mean? Like that's when insecurities creep in. That's where boredom creeps in. That's where what. Because you'll find in most cases, if you communicate these things with the Umuntu, maybe there's a reason why. You know? Maybe, you know, this is unfiltered after all. Maybe, ladies, your man no longer has a high sex drive for you. Communicate. Ask him why. You know what I mean? it's possible that you no longer look the way you looked when he was highly attracted to you. And that's affecting his sex drive because you don't appeal to him sexually. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing that we need to be aware of. That you could speak to somebody's soul, but it doesn't mean you're going to speak to them sexually. That's like sexual attraction is a whole other thing. So how do you rectify these things? Same thing with ladies. Like if you feel that your man is not hitting the spots, like, excuse the pun.
The G-spot.
If he's not hitting the spot, then perhaps all it takes is a simple communication between the two of you. Would say, okay, look, here's what you are not doing. Or perhaps, typical example, yabo, asithini a guy complains ukuthi, yo, hey, mina umuntu wami does not give me head, and I really like getting head, and umuntu wami does not give me head. If you and mawiziba leyo nto, angithi you're gonna end up going out there to find what you're looking for.
Of course.
But had you communicated this, and if you both have a flowing line of communication as adults that is based around maturity, and you say to her, look, why ungakwenzi ukuthi, or why don't you do it more often, or whatever the case may be, bese umuntu naye mayekwazi ukuba open now, comfortable now, yeah, maybe this happens because sometimes you go for 3 days without showering. You know what I mean? Like, something I'd give you head more often if you showered more often. And there's a solution to it, a corner right there.
And speaking of head for ladies as well, like ladies communicate, guide him, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Don't math me sakhotu ice cream with cone. Yabo. Shut up. Yeah, like when he's dishing out them strokes, tell him how you like them things done, like musuk fenda sak plastela or whatever it is,
But it's not just about the ladies. Like, guys should not take like your feedback personally, because I think, especially with teen, I'm a Zulu man.
Okay.
And I was raised by Zulu men.
Yeah. Tell us more.
And I think each generation here too is the one that's more open to sexual discussions. Like before, is sex for them to enjoy, and that's it.
Yeah.
And and as a woman, if you feel the need to be sexually liberated, or you feel the need now enjoy, then you know what I mean? So Tina, as millennials, we are moving away from that, but at the same time we need to remove our ego and pride from conversations around things of a sexual nature, because that's when you get to learn. That's where you open up room to know ukuthi umuntu wakufunani and whatnot. So inkinga yethu as guys, we take his into as an attack even when they're not. So if my woman comes to me and she tells me, look, I think you could do this when you are stroking like this, or you could do that. First things first is of Zulu, and especially a man, wakubona blog
ufunde plum.
Khona wayekwenza leyo nto sufuna, you know what I mean? Like, so you just need to remove your ego and pride from it, because that's when you get to a perfect equilibrium of communication between the both of you, where you understand one another.
Nalento ukuthi ke we mustn't drag izinto from past relationships sizilethelana, because people are not the same. Like, if before you were with somebody else and ubepina ngekhanda aye kitchen afika lalesi fridge pants agibele phezkwalo enzeni, that's her.
Hey, khona abantu asebenza leyo nto kwena balalisa amakishi pants noma what?
I'm not talking about myself. What the hell?
Hey, bakingela ama fridge. Yes,
it's just an exaggeration on my part.
Yeah.
My imagination runs wild, guys. Like, sometimes I don't know what happens with me.
Come back to earth, T. Come back to earth.
Yeah, but
she's drifting away, guys. We're losing her. Come back. Yeah, they mustn't bring things here.
Yeah,
yes.
I just slapped myself. But yeah, like, communicate. Hey, nai en ishaya. Finance.
Wait, before you get there,
Why? Why must I wait?
we said guys mustn't take things personally.
Yeah.
Sexually, women shouldn't either, because
How?
you guys take yourselves too seriously sometimes. Like, ufuna ungifaka kephi position? Wawuyibona phi leyo nto? Angisona mina you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing we should really look into. Would it be a side cheeky, a hoe, a main, a wife, everything to your person? Because this whole thing of if umuntu puts me in a particular position, then they are disrespecting me is old-fashioned. You know, we live in a new era now where we explore sexually, and I go to my pendog, you know what I mean? We need to dispel all those things that kind of late, because they will make my relationship to go smoother.
Do you think that's maybe one of the reasons why certain men feel much more comfortable, like they really let themselves down when they're with side chicks? Because side, you don't care, they will do whatever, whenever, and then he goes back home to the wifey or to the main. Oh wow.
No, but
oh wow.
In that context, and you're boring as a human being, but boring sexually.
Yeah. Because
there's somebody else that fulfills you sexually in a way that your partner doesn't. You know, because sexual compatibility is a whole nother topic on its own. We could be compatible as human beings. We could build a great life together. We could have the best of intentions. Yeah, well, we could both be bright people, build businesses, do this, do that. It does not translate into we will be sexually compatible.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it takes an open mind from both people. Okay, now as the guy, leave your ego at the door if she's telling you what you're not doing that she likes. Now as the woman, you know what I mean? If he's asking you to do certain things, because that's probably what he likes, and you just need to reach a point where you compromise for one another to satisfy one another, because sex is about both of you. It's not about the man pela, and it's not about the woman pela. What's in my finance?
Alrighty, moving right along. Yeah. What's it? Finance? Yeah. So that's another deal breaker. Ama finances, men are communicating now, and most times they're not in sync, because a lot of couples nowadays, others live together, others visit each other a lot. Like like you spend quite some time with this person, but finance. And sometimes you could find that umuntu wakho is even really struggling financially, but you won't even know. Yes, because they're trying to impress you, and that shouldn't be the case. And if beni open communication I'm going through some things, this and this. But okay, that down, like finally now as isn't and then you guys work around that, like.
But this goes back to what we spoke about earlier. People have started taking relationship cues from social media. So you are keeping up appearances. You are not being genuine to dynamics in as a unit. Instead, you are trying to keep up with what society and social media is telling you are the levels and the standards for what a relationship should be. Lento ishoyo ukuthi umuntu struggling sezohamba yotsheleka ilokishi lonke ngoba ufuna ukukhipha wena kuyise oyster box kanti wena ubufuna ukuyele honchozi. You know what I mean? Like, you are there for him, or he is there for you. They're not there for the material things or the glitz and the glamour of the relationship, and you're incurring like debt and your what just to impress this person. They are not there for that. And if they are, then that's when you should have the conversation with yourself. Are you in the right relationship? And that comes from the show communication. Like, you can't fault umuntu for not knowing something that you didn't tell them.
Yazi kufana nomuntu senikwi-date usabathe uya-order ugwinyamathe usabathe uya-order because ubuka i-price yalezinto kanti yazi akuve kumnandi
Yeah.
okay babe we're going out i-budget u-500
Yeah.
let's stick to our lane
Siyaphuza, siyadla, siyasutha futhi kuleyo 500.
500 yabo
You know what I mean?
But now ngizovele ngishaye nje ngemili ethi 2 something alone ama drinks wami already ngingedwa I'm on 500 lapho sulokhe wena uyincenga kwamanzi uthi yazi ukuthi angizizwa kahle angazi mafanele ngichathe noma ngenzeni
Good vele ngisuthi le into zeni mina oseafood angizidli mina. Kodwa no prawns labo angibadli mina no prawns. You know?
Where you could have just said and it's like really like but I think abantu I think they become shy or embarrassed about these things. And if you are shy or embarrassed, then chances are you with the wrong
Like,
person.
are you really with the right person? Like, I was just about to ask
you're
that.
with the wrong person from personal experience as well. Yeah, you should be able to strip yourself down.
Be.
And yeah.
And go, look, kapeta namhlanje.
Jambile.
You know? And if uthole isimo is right, lo muntu mawuthi jambe namhlanje uthi hayi okay hayi futhi sishama gwinya.
Of course.
You know, kusho yena kuqala. But these things come with the communication of these because lento yokunga communicate finances has broken down even among marriages a generation yabazali bethu nomkhulu nogogo because finances is such a taboo topic in black households.
Yeah.
Kanti the liberation that comes with understanding as a unit where you are financially and what you can do, what you can't do, and the realm in which you play around as a unit, it's very liberating because you understand you know what you are building from where and what. But if that's not a conversation, then how do we build effectively if you don't even know what mini dinengiphethe zinganan nokuthi all size bazo cover a foundation enganan?
Of course, and if you're able to talk about finances, niyakwazi ukuthi niplane impilo yenu. You can plan for your lives, you can plan for your kids' lives. You know, it just makes life so much simpler.
Yep, I agree with you.
So much simpler.
And this thing breaks down marriages. Like, upele umshado, because they could not come together as a unit and discuss finances and plan for a future yengane and plan for their future and look at where they stand financially. And I think as the next up-and-coming generation, these are things we really need to let go of and dispel. Okay, look, we see where our parents went wrong. We see where our grandparents went wrong. What are we doing to do things differently? Because you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You know what I mean? And we don't want to be the generation that comes from broken families, that perpetuates the culture of broken families. Let's discuss finances, guys. Let's communicate. You know what I mean?
So it's core. Leave no stone unturned.
Same thing sexually. You must find the core. Yeah, but on that
but
note,
yeah, the conversation never really stops. Like we could go on and on and
definitely.
on. Like, I could sit here all day and we can talk.
Yeah, we know how you like to talk, lady. Oh yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us on the Unfiltered Show. This is No Filter. This is your boy Hala.
Yeah, and we look forward to your engagements on social media, your comments, like, subscribe to our channel, share, comment. Please comment, because this is in fact a conversation. We are just not saying that what we've said now, our word is God. No, we are just sharing our opinions, our experiences, and like
let us know what you think as well.
Yeah. Like it's very interesting to actually see how other people view things as well, because your view might also be narrow.
They must be shy. Like, here's a challenge. I think it's communication. If they are shy enough to communicate, they must practice with us. communicate with us
Oh,
in the
yes.
comment section
Oh, yes.
to practice.
Yeah, communicate. Hlampe, you've been burning to tell your friend this, or your partner, or your family member in ini.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, no mongaba utsi mina ngusne kodwa ngicela ukuba anonymous. It's fine.
Hayi mamazi yabo mina ngusine kodwa ngicela uba anonymous. Okay, ngicela ngangihlafuni guys, this is your boy Hala.
And this is your girl T.
See you next week.
Bye bye bye.
Join myself, Hala,
And me, T,
on the No Filter Show,
where we voice and discuss what everybody is thinking,
but is too afraid to say. Topics that people want to engage in.
but are too afraid to bring up on public platforms. We go where it is unpopular to go,
We dive into real life.
with real experience or opinions.
No topic is off limits.
Exclusive to radiodr.co.za.
Okay, sure. RadioDR.co.za.